You know what it is. Mr. People's House. Big Zeus. Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate, 1600 on the map. Supposed to be the people's house, I make it like a trap. Right before the chandeliers, I'm balling through the ball. Power through the people, yeah, I gotta make the call. Trying for the keys, running right into the lead. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the keys. I'm in the marble, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard, I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bag. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. Balance in my hand, but the system's overweight.
Good morning.
Right, yeah, but the stain's running deep. Promising selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rules, Lincoln, MLK, now it's photo ops, power plays, all day I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus, it's the people's house. Powers in the air, Zeus. We knocking on the door, Zeus. We wanna hear your soul.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People or them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall, they staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told, I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true, all I need is a spark. Red phone ringing, but you don't know who's on my line. Got the Constitution jumping, yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks, and the rally outside, and the gates is locked. This power never divides. Spitting for the block, head buses make them wanna fight. 1600, do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talks loud, time to clap.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
That's a fact, it's a rap, I'ma bring
You know
it back.
exactly why we are here.
Powers in the air, it's the people's house. We knocking on your door. It's the people's house.
We wanna hear your soul. All right, you know what we came to do, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this show started. We don't have much time to get, down to business. This is a serious situation we're in. All right. They don't want me to do it, but I'm going to do it.
It's like a curse. And I can't escape it. It's like deja vu. It's me. It's deja vu.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Tiffany for the people, the beautiful Tiffany for the people.
Deja vu when I'm out here flying first.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. We don't got much time. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Thank you. I love you too. All right, let's go. Sitting in my living room, screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you're rich and famous. That algorithm turned you to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Let's go. If they is the X, it means they left me. Let's go. They don't get replies if they text me. Right, Marissa, good morning. How are you? Here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Here it goes. All the time they do it.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of
Lies.
days. That shit was radical.
Oh, it was.
It was horrible.
Snuggie.
I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Oh, you heard him? You heard what she said about me? All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back. Happy Monday to all of you. You're all back safe and sound in one piece. I appreciate that. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome to take care of some very serious business. Oh, boy, what an interesting weekend, all right? And we'll get into that. But before we do, let's take care of some very important housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down, all right? The second H as well, because I'm humble, all right? Listen, if I get it wrong, I honestly would apologize, all right? Because I don't think apologizing is a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength, if you ask me, all right? But just because your feelings are hurt, it doesn't mean that I owe you an apology. Most likely, it means you need to sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast, all right? And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because you've guessed it, I am and will always remain, what? The most handsome. Cut it out, hung. Y'all really, y'all funny this morning. All right. Now, many of you know exactly why we are gathered here this incredible day today. It's because we have to do this. Unfortunately, this is grueling work. We have to do this in order to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of this knucklehead right behind me, Donald J. Trump, and his legion of MAGA demons, ladies and gentlemen, who we all know are hell-bent on destroying this great country of ours. This past weekend, obviously, shout out to all of you who participated in the No Kings Parade. W to the Democrats, all right? I mean, just anybody out there, any real American, because you all are honestly real Americans, all right? Because what you did this weekend, it made what Donald Trump was trying to accomplish. He really humiliated himself, and I felt so bad for our men and women in uniform who actually had to follow through with what him and Pete Kegsbreth forced them to do, because they had to do it, all right? I get it. But, if there was ever a time where I would be, if I were in that situation, I would really be struggling to continue to serve under these knuckleheads because they have no clue what they're doing. And they're getting this country into just real nasty situations all over the globe. I can't think of one thing Donald Trump has done since he's gotten into office that's actually been at the benefit of the American people, right? And so what I'll say is this before I go any further. Do I have any Trump supporters out there? Anyone out there still supporting Donald Trump? I just want to see if there's anybody out there that's still proud to support Donald Trump and willing to actually admit that they still do. Because I know a lot of you are truly in hiding right now. You have nothing to stand on. You're totally embarrassed. Your relationships are falling apart, and we've caught you red-handed. Any Trump supporters out there, just identify yourselves. I don't need you to come up here real quick because I got something serious to discuss this morning. I really do. Any Trump supporters, you see how they're quiet right now? You see how you Trump supporters are quiet right now because we caught you once again. So what I'll say is this. If you are a Trump supporter, you just got out of church this weekend. It was Father's Day, by the way. Shout out to all the fathers, by the way. But not to the MAGA demons out there. Y'all just got out of church and y'all pastors made y'all feel good and think that y'all are on y'all way to heaven. I got some real terrible news for you. God is not pleased with you. None of you. And hell will be your portion. And so what I'll say is this. If you do not want me to ruin your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and every single thing in between, including the Cheez-Its and the Diet Coke, you might want to leave this live right now. Go hang out with these fake TikTok hosts because they will truly lie to you. They'll lie to you and take your money. But over here, we will not do that at all right? Because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable over here. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome have officially closed. I take no responsibility for what goes on in here because we're all adults and truth flies all over the place. But my whole point is I hope you're paying attention and you're trying to listen to learn. And actually, for those of you on the right, you learn to listen. All right, W. Zeus. Now, I'm really big on making sure the will of the good Lord is done. All right, and it's going to be done so perfectly, ladies and gentlemen. And what I saw happen over this weekend, I said, it's happening so fast, MAGA can't even figure it out. They're done. They're totally done. Ladies and gentlemen, we had two incidences this weekend that made it real clear to America who the real, and again, I'm not promoting any type of violence. I don't promote political violence on this platform, and I don't even like it if mutuals of mine promote political violence. But what I do promote is truth. What I do promote is accountability, and actually I do promote love. W. Zeus, I just thought of that one. Love is very important. So, unfortunately, or fortunately, right, I had other affairs to tend to in the kingdom, taking care of father. You know, I got to take care of my father a little bit, you know, go visit him. So I didn't really get to do what I would normally do on the weekends, which is, you know, really keep MAGA on their heels. But you know what? That was actually a good thing. Because while I was able to take a break, a lot of you were out there doing the work, keeping them, you know, keeping them in check. And so what we saw come out this weekend was two things. One, you know, this conflict that's happening right now between Israel and Iran. Benjamin Netanyahu, he made an announcement on guess what, on what network he did it on, by the way. I've seen the views so far. Over 3 million people have watched it on Fox News. Yeah. Benjamin Netanyahu, all right, announced to MAGA that the two attempts on this knucklehead's life, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, and we've all already known it, he said it was from, guess who? Iran. He said this on Fox News. So I said, oh, you mean it's not the Democrats, it's not the radical left. Oh, you see, MAGA, God's judgment is truly upon you. You've been blaming the Democrats, and it's not the Democrats after all. And you know, the vessels that he's using, you know, if what he's saying is it was Iran, the vessel Iran is using is MAGA. And you can't make, and I'll play it for you because I know a lot of you won't accept anything that I say. So I'm going to play it to you. It's going to be pure. It's coming from Fox News. You can hear Netanyahu say this himself. It's not the Democrats and it's not immigrants. I'm going to play it. All right, you twisted my arm. Let's go ahead and get this. Let's get this on the record, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Benjamin Netanyahu says, which totally absolves Democrats. We already were absolved because none of us actually promote this violence or anything. I truly believe real justice needs to occur when the good Lord, you know, here's the will of MAGA, all right? And it just needs to snap like a twig. And this is when a lot of you will come out of the cult. So it's very, very important that you Trump supporters just listen, all right? Because sooner or later, it's all going to start to click, all right? But I want you to understand this, until it clicks, God's judgment is truly upon you. So what we're going to do is get this on the record.
Right now, 8,000 kilometers very soon, just add a little distance, and they can reach the eastern seaboard of the United States. These people who chant death to America, try to assassinate President Trump twice, killed 241 of your Marines in Beirut, killed and injured thousands of American soldiers in Afghanistan and Iraq, try to bomb a restaurant in Washington, D.C., chant death to America, burn the American flag. Do you want these people to have nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them to your cities? Of course not.
Yeah.
So we're defending ourselves, but we're also defending the world.
I want to talk about the nuclear threat, and I want to talk about President Trump. You just said Iran tried to assassinate President Trump twice.
Oh.
Do you have intel that the assassination attempts on President Trump were directly from Iran?
Through proxies, yes. Through their intel, yes. They want to kill him. Look, he's enemy number one.
I don't even need to watch anything else. I can get straight to judgment after this. Thank you. You know, I don't even like BB, but the truth comes from places. You know, when you do crime with criminals, you know, you don't get to pick your co-conspirators, right? It is what it is. So Benjamin Netanyahu, he just admitted, MAGA, that it's not the Democrats. No, it's not illegal immigrants. No, not Joe Biden. It's not Zeus's rhetoric or anybody that gets on the show. It's not our rhetoric. It's you. Y'all are doing this. Can you believe it? And guess what? It wasn't even the Democrats that made Netanyahu say this. It's just, this is how the truth works. This is why I say God's judgment is truly upon you, Trump supporters, because y'all in a cult and y'all can't hear the truth. I know when Fox News played this, you ignored it. And you can't even say it's CNN or MSNBC. You have to say it's Fox News. So what I'm going to do is this, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to do is we're going to warm up the lake of fire for the Trump supporters, all right? for all of you Trump supporters on the internet, I want you to know the jig is up. Anytime there's violence happening out here, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, to be quite honest, it's you that is responsible for it, and you need to cut it out, and you need to stop it, and stop trying to blame the Democrats and immigrants. And in the meantime, do me a favor and go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
I need all you Trump supporters to understand God's judgment is real. It's part of the universal laws. You cannot live a lie and think that lie, that, you know, the truth comes out whether you want it to or not. And a lot of you Trump supporters, y'all don't understand this. And so this is why I say, gosh, it's not me. What I'm doing here with this hammer and sending you to the lake of fire, come on, let's be honest. I don't really have the authority to do that, but it's the visual, it's the intent, it's the message that I'm bringing you that's helping you to understand. If you don't get this right on this show, right, when we do this, then yeah, when it really does happen to you, your behind is going to really be in hell, the lake of fire for eternity. W Big Zeus. Thank you. Again, I took the weekend off, but I said, wow, look at how the good Lord, because I only bring the good Lord in it, not necessarily because I, go around and promote Christianity at that level, but I do it because I understand that a good chunk of you so-called Christians turned around and went and voted for Donald J. Trump. And then you think to yourself, oh, why am I suffering right now? Oh, it's because you're being hypocrites and you're trying to do things in the name of Jesus, and Jesus told you not to do that. W Big Zeus. Should I go a little deeper, ladies and gentlemen? Should I go a little deeper into Trump supporters? And should I go a little deeper with MAGA this morning to help them see very clearly how they have sinned? It's a great sin that you've done, MAGA, and God's judgment is truly upon you. All right. You want to know what else Fox News did? And this is why I say you cannot make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. Now, who is this MAGA demon right here, ladies and gentlemen? You all know who this is. And you know what this knucklehead did. All right? Vance Butler. This demon, pure. And Fox News, I'm gonna let Fox News describe him, MAGA, all right? And yes, MAGA, this is one of your own. I was monitoring X, and I get it. A lot of the people on the right, they post content because you know what I've learned? One thing in life at 40 plus years old. One thing I've learned is this: lies travel further than the truth. You can make thousands and thousands of dollars, ladies and gentlemen, spreading lies on X. And if, X turns around and cuts you a check for $10,000 and you got 40 million views on it, do you really care? No. And this is what's happening on X. They were trying to spin this thing into making it seem like we found a Democrat doing something violent. And immediately when I heard this story, I knew one thing's for sure. MAGA always has conspiracies, and this is why we got to get out here and challenge these narratives right in front of them. When these people start saying this and that's happening, you got to ask what the heck is going on. The first thing that I knew this was something very strange was Pam Bondi. She spoke out about it. She said, this is unacceptable. Donald Trump spoke out about it. And I said, now when did Pam Bondi and Donald Trump actually start caring about Democrats? Something started seeming fishy about it. And I looked at him, and the person I looked at, I initially said, "Oh, this has to be an immigrant, right?" Because this is where my mind goes. This has to be an immigrant that did something disgusting and evil like this. Then they showed the suspect, and I said, "Oh, if Donald Trump were to do his little test, you know what Donald Trump's test is?
Open borders.
Remember this?
With people pouring
Remember
in.
this?
Some of whom, I won't get into it, but you can look at them and you can say, could be trouble. Could be trouble.
All right. So obviously that test didn't go. This guy passed the test because he's not an immigrant, right? So what did Fox News say about the suspect? All right. So what we'll do is we'll get this on the record. All right. And then we'll get to judgment. All right. And this is what makes it so sad. This is what makes it so interesting. Obviously, he is a Trump supporter. All right. And I said, here we go again.
7-year-old Vance Bolter, suspected of assassinating one Minnesota lawmaker and nearly killing another, was found overnight by police. He is said to have willingly turned himself over to officers after being found in a field.
So he's trying. So, and I didn't want to do this, but he was found in a field, and I saw a few weeks ago ICE agents chasing these people through the fields, and so I said, "Whoa, this is some real mental stuff he's doing." He tried to set the immigrants up. Am I thinking too much? But he tried to set the immigrants up by going into the fields. Oh, man, this is some sick stuff. All right. But listen to what else they said about this knucklehead, all right? This is serious stuff.
Bolter exploited the trust our uniforms are meant to represent. That betrayal is deeply disturbing to those of us who wear the badge with honor and responsibility.
When this sort of evil is in one of our communities.
So, you notice he called it evil? He said, when this evil is in one of our communities. He didn't say when these immigrants are in our communities. Evil. So I said, wow. We have this and believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, this is a so-called Christian. He's done so many things in the name of Jesus. I mean, when this story kept coming out, I just said, what more evidence do you Trump supporters need to understand that y'all have been truly exposed and Donald Trump is truly doing a number on you? He's manipulating the heck out of you.
Law enforcement comes together to put all of their resources together to make sure that person is taken into custody.
Former federal prosecutor and Holtzman Vogel partner Jonathan Fahey joins me now. Jonathan,
and by the way, this is coming from Fox News, MAGA, so it is gospel.
Your reaction to this suspect's arrest?
Well, it's great news that he was arrested. I just saw it this morning, and it really does show probably strong coordination with both, state, federal, local law enforcement, and they did a great job catching this guy. But I think on that earlier clip you're showing, he really is, when they say the face of evil, there's nothing better to describe what this person did other than just pure evil to go.
You hear that? Pure evil. That's what Fox News MAGA is saying about you. Because this is you, MAGA. In case I don't got to get up here and lie about this stuff, MAGA. Face of evil. And now you get it. Why I send you straight to hell, right? This is the face of evil. It's the MAGA demon with legions of them, making him do things because he reads Donald Trump's Truth Social post, perhaps, and a lot of the right-wing stuff. I don't know what he's consuming, but I definitely know Trump is a part of it. And people say, well, Zeus, why do you say Trump is a part of it? Well, not only do we get Fox News to break it down for us, but I guess he has a roommate in Minnesota, and we're going to go ahead and get this on the record. Listen to what his own roommate says.
Can you talk about his politics a little bit? I know that you had some discussions of
Could you talk about his politics, is what the reporter asked.
Well, everyone's calling him a Democrat. He's not a Democrat.
Well, everyone's calling him a Democrat. He's not a Democrat.
He would be offended if people called him a Democrat. He
would be offended if people called him a Democrat.
Because of this board thing he was on for Governor Walz, it wasn't to serve. He was just serving the community.
He was serving the community. Okay.
But I can't believe a political issue would cause him to do such a thing.
He says, I can't believe a political issue would cause him to do such a thing. I wish it was that simple, but it's not that. This is wickedness. This is a demonic force. That's why you got to be careful about what spirits you allow to occupy your vessel. This is why you got to be careful where you go and assemble and claim to be getting the good gospel of Jesus Christ. Because see, if you're not careful, you'll end up doing something like this.
Did he ever bring up the senator or the representative who were targeted?
Like I was saying, no, he never talked about that. I didn't know. I didn't recognize her.
Any politicians he mentioned?
Any politicians?
Nancy Pelosi.
He mentioned Nancy Pelosi, Tim Walz, Any Trump supporters out there, this is what I'm going to start having to assume. When you start mentioning Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, I'm going to have no other choice but to conclude you're possessed. Ralph is in the chat right now having an outer body experience based on so far what I'm doing. Ralph, what have I lied about, Ralph? Why are you in my comment section triggered? Ralph, all I'm doing is giving you information. Information shouldn't make you feel and react like that. Ralph, do me a favor, Ralph. Tell that demon today, Big Zeus isn't having it. And then as a matter of fact, if you can't control that demon, Ralph, please remember I gave you a heads up.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
That's you,
if
Ralph.
you're not happy here, you can leave.
That's you, Ralph.
If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. I'm not done yet. All right. I'll address you, MAGA demons. Go ahead and send me a guest request. Send me it, but I'm going to get through this content first because this is very important stuff I'm talking about. I'm actually trying to save America. I'm actually trying to save you. If you really sat back and thought about it, I'm actually trying to help you out. Your relationships are falling apart. You can't get a job. You're blaming the immigrants. That's all make-believe. 90% of the stuff you're thinking in your head, you Trump supporters, 99% of it's all made up. Nobody even thinks about what you're talking about. It's not really happening. But Donald Trump sure does know how to get you to believe he understands you. Think about it. Y'all millions of miles apart, but he somehow makes y'all feel like he understands you. You can't make this stuff up, all right?
Jim Wall didn't like Jim Biden.
He didn't like Joe Biden. Again, another MAGA demon talking point.
I did.
Tim Walz, what would you say about him?
Well, I mean, nothing. I mean, it's just normal. Well, I don't like this, that Tim Walz did this. I don't like that they did that.
Did he mention the protests that were planned for yesterday?
He never mentioned it.
He never mentioned the protests.
What do you make of everything that's happened here and the fact
Maybe
that
I mentioned it to him, but I don't think he mentioned anything about it.
What would you tell him?
I would tell him to surrender himself so he can be taken alive.
Am I a Trump supporter?
Like
Zach.
So I don't want him to be killed. I don't want him to kill anyone
Zach.
else. You know?
Get out of here, Zach. I want to get to my point.
If I saw him, I could talk him down. But
here goes.
I don't know where he is.
And did he listen to any particular podcast?
Did he listen to any podcast?
TV shows or anything online that concerns you?
Well, you listen to InfoWars.
Oh, he listened to InfoWars. You couldn't. If this was a Democrat, you wouldn't be able to say stuff like this, all right? Everything about him screams at the highest volume, MAGA. MAGA demon, in other words, all right? So
I kind of told us that, well, it's like 50% true. You know, I kind of said, don't take everything what they say for granted.
Here we go.
It wasn't a real truthful. I mean, they're on for some things, but some things are way off.
Did he talk much about Trump? And what did he say if so?
Did he talk much about Trump? Watch this.
Supporter.
Well, he's a Trump supporter. Voted for Trump. W Zeus. W to all of the real Americans and the Democrats out there. So we have Netanyahu absolving the Democrats and immigrants. And now we have this knucklehead's roommates absolving the Democrats and immigrants. So let's just get through this. This suspect, this evil MAGA demon, he's not an immigrant. He's not a Democrat. He's a Trump supporter. He's a Christian. He's a Republican. And he hurt women. Get this, MAGA. All the things you all get on TikTok and love to try to argue with me about. All the Democrats stand for this. Is this somebody from the transgender community? No, none of those people. But yet y'all waste all y'all time demonizing and attacking people in these vulnerable populations just to try to hide what you're really doing. And like I said, you can play around with us, but you can't play with God. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire. It's time for judgment, all right? I'm going to send all of the Trump supporters once again who continue to push narratives that say things like Democrats are pushing violence because we speak out against your violence, right? Or because I send you to lake of fire, somehow we're implying that we promote violence. No. What we're doing is we're exposing all of your hypocrisy, all right? Because you're the ones actually out here doing the unimaginable and the evil acts, and you do it in the name of Jesus, the name of God, right after you got out of church. And you even dress up like cops. I thought we protected cops. But no, you use cops against human beings in the United States. I didn't want to do this, but I got to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send all the Trump supporters who continue to blame the Democrats when it's really them where they belong. Straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W Zeus. I'm glad that we were able to address that. And so let's go to the chat now. I know that there are some folks out there that are struggling to process that information that I just shared. But if you're questioning the source of what I gave you, you Trump supporters, that all came from Fox News. And you know Fox News is gospel to you. Jimmy, you want to come up here, Jimmy? Because if you don't mind, Jimmy, come on up here and I'll deal with the demon. And please use TikTok friendly language. Any Trump supporter that gets in the box. I understand that you are all triggered. I get that. But I need you to act like y'all claim you act, right? You don't get up here and start acting like the people you say we are. Act like the so-called people you brag about being, right? And I know you can't do that, W Zeus. So put a one in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Hey, Jimmy, I tried to invite you up, Jimmy, but obviously I think you started to process what I was saying and you decided maybe I don't want to do that. All right. So let's move on from Jimmy. And Jimmy, do me a huge favor and just sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast. You just might learn something. All right. Now, yeah, I don't let's see. Let me see something. All right. Now, let me get back to this knucklehead real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, and I just wanted to call this out, MAGA. This is your dear leader during the parade. And what's more disgusting about this is I've never seen our men and women in uniform be so humiliated like this guy did. How do you salute with your eyes closed? I mean, this is disgraceful. You're saluting with your eyes closed. Even he was bored. You see, MAGA? This is all you're doing. Joe Biden would never, ever, ever have disrespected our men and women in uniform like this guy had. And there's one viral clip that I just got to get on the record. And you know what? I'm going to do it. Since they don't want to come up here, let's get this viral moment that everyone heard around the world. All right. And this is, what is this? This is, oh yeah, the tank squeaking in silence. All right. There were so many people at this campaign. I mean, at this, parade. There were so many people cheering, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to stop the people in the world from hearing the tank squealing. All right. Oh. You hear that? You can hear the engine. No wonder he fell asleep. Ladies and gentlemen, I got no other choice. And MAGA, what more evidence do you need to know that Donald Trump continues to disrespect our men and our women in uniform than that? They weren't even marching in unison. These people, they mailed it in. This was the laziest parade. I wouldn't even call it a parade. This is just flat out a waste of taxpayers' money. Oh, but we're the party of being fiscally responsible. You're going to waste $60 million on this junk? I mean, what did you get out of this, MAGA? Anybody? What did he get out of this? This didn't make America look strong. This made America look weak. And I got to do it. I got to do another round of the Lake of Fire. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to warm it up again. This is for anybody that thinks it's acceptable for the President of the United States of America to waste millions and millions and millions of dollars for this kind of nonsense. Oh, by the way, today is his 10-year anniversary. You all said this is his 10-year anniversary from when he came down the Golden Escalator. Well, you know what? That's qualifications for Lake of Fire too. Let's go ahead and send them where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W Big Zeus. Are there any Trump supporters out there? If you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat. I'll bring you right on up here because I need to get to the bottom of one issue going forward. I don't ever want to hear any of you Trump supporters saying anything about Democrats and violence again. Not until you clean up your own house. All right. You got a serious problem over there and God's judgment is truly on you. Yeah. Yeah. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter and I'll bring you right up. All right. Let's see. MAGA, they won't come up. Well, and I get it, it will be hard. I could only imagine. It would be really hard to defend this. All right, let's see if we can have an honest conversation. Stephanie, if you don't mind, could you please come on up here? I promise you, I'll be a little more reserved when we have the conversations, but when I'm delivering truth, I'm not going to hold back. I give the truth 110. But when I talk to Americans, these Trump supporters out here, I call them Americans because they are. But these people are something's happened to them, and they need to stop this. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter, and I will bring you right up. My mods, they will pin the comment. All right, and hopefully we can get some rich discussions about what's happening in this country right now. And a lot of you really got to do better. All right, Jess, how about you, Jess? All right, send a guest request. Apparently, if I'm sending you a request directly, it's not going through. So, Jess, you might have to send it directly to me. All right, let's go. Marlene's backup. Marlene, please come on up here. I don't know why when I send them a guest request, it doesn't go through. Let's see. Try sending me a guest request directly. All right, maybe that'll work. Let's see. Okay, Jackson, come on up here. Let's see. Who do we got? Let's see. Yeah. We're having a serious issue with MAGA this morning. I mean, okay, hold on. Okay, I see right now. Okay, who do we got here? Okay. They didn't want it. They didn't want to do it. All right. Well, I guess we're going to go back to the basics.
I told all my followers not to come up until you bring me up first, and then you'll be able to.
I haven't honestly checked in with you.
I know I muted the whole live, sir. I muted the whole live. Your mods have muted me. My mods don't mute you, bro.
So you're crying already? Okay, great. I just got two.
Tell your mods to, stop modding the best host ever.
Can I ask you an honest question? Do you see did you hear all the stuff that I covered this morning?
No, actually not, because
let me give you a quick recap. Let me give you a quick so Netanyahu just acknowledged that those 2 attempts on Trump's life, remember?
Right. Yes.
That was from Iran.
Okay.
And so that means the Democrats weren't involved. That means illegal immigrants weren't involved. Did you know that? And you could go check that. He said it on Fox News.
Right.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Yeah, but what do you think about that? Don't you think it's time? Okay, it's time for you to stop promoting these narratives that Democrats are bad people, because you really don't have any evidence of that.
I'm just wondering why you're still burning down LA. I don't know. I mean, you Democrats.
Okay, so that's the lie you want to push,
why do we have no King Day? Donald Trump's not king. Okay. I mean, why did they have no King Day? Isn't that a little delusional?
No, that's actually not delusional. So and you're trying to make something out of nothing. You're trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, and it won't work here. The next question that I ask you is about this evil person that did what they did in Minnesota. They found him in the fields. The
Democrat, right?
No. Actually, no. He's a Trump supporter.
No, he's under Waltz, bro.
No, okay. So we're just gonna still lie. You're just gonna still lie. Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we can't have that. I gave him the facts. He's got to deal with that. But in the meantime, Snuggie, not today. I will not allow you to continue to lie. Not like that. Oh, no. Anybody that's still supporting Snuggie after hearing what he just said after I gave you all the facts, do me a favor and go with them straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W, sis. The LA protests are about being peaceful and standing up against a tyrant, a wannabe king. That's it. That's all. And the Trump administration is weaponizing the federal government by sending, well, they sent the Marines there, but taking control of the National Guard to try to make it look like it's something that it's not. I want clear answers from MAGA. One, all right, what do you think about what Netanyahu is saying about the attempts on your dear leader's life? He's absolved the Democrats and makes it very clear it's the Iranians, and guess who they're using? Trump supporters, obviously, because these people were Republicans. The second issue is what happened in Minnesota. The roommate, as well as Fox, they're all confirming he's a Trump supporter and a Christian. It's not the Democrats, and it's not immigrants, MAGA. Burn LA, burn, you burn. Oh, Charlotte, hold on, Charlotte. Now you got my attention, Charlotte. Hold on, Charlotte, if you don't mind. This show only is like an hour and a half. So Charlotte, if you don't mind, could you please come on up here? All right, because when the mods, when they pin what you're saying in the chat, it's either a sign that you need help or you're a Russian bot. So if you need help, I invite you up here so we can talk. But if you're a Russian bot, I'm just going to have to ask the mods to put you in a straitjacket, because guess what, Charlotte? There are people here who genuinely love this country, and they're actually trying to get the truth out. We're the real Americans, to be quite honest, Charlotte. All right. And we don't allow things like what you're saying. All right. Because we get it. You're possessed. You're possessed with the MAGA demon. Charlotte, did you know that? And we understand all the MAGA talking points, right? We know every single thing the MAGA demon will say to you. And I want to give you a heads up, Charlotte. We've sent several before that had that same issue you got. We sent several of them, just like I did Snuggie, straight to hell. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of you Trump supporters are going to, Dino, you want to come up here, Dino? All right, come on up here, Dino. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up, folks. You just can't make this stuff up. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Zeus.
Good morning. Have we spoken before?
Oh, a few times.
What was your name then?
Same.
So you're about to utter something very disturbing and disgusting, huh?
Democrats are assassinating their own politicians?
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. So I'll let you stay where you're at. I just got to ask one question. Where did you get that from? Where? Let me get, listen. And again, I got my notes here. I just read to you Netanyahu said it's the Iranian. He didn't say it's the Democrat or immigrant. And the guy that did what he did in Minnesota, he's a Republican. He's a Christian. He's a Trump supporter. All right. Not a Democrat, not an immigrant. I don't know where did I don't get this. It's just you all are having, Sarah, you want to come up here, Sarah? You all just can't admit you're wrong. And this is where we are as a country. As much as I would hate to say you're Americans, you all, I'm assuming you grew up in this country, but somewhere along the way, hatred filled your hearts, and now lies, they're just like the thing. I love being lied to. This is a typical Trump supporter. No, Sarah, it's you. Sarah, it's you. Sarah, you love being lied to. I just don't get it. How did we get in a country? How did we get to a place in America where people love being lied to? Yes, we're Trump is just one human being. What we're standing for is truth. All right. What we're standing against are all the lies and the evil stuff that comes from Trump. All right. That's what he's pushing. That's what his consumers eat every day. They don't like truth. They love darkness. So what we're doing is we're taking care of business and sending them where they belong, straight to hell. W Zeus. All right, let's see. Let's go to the audience, ladies and gentlemen. Mac made it. Want to come on up here real quick? I don't got all day with this. All right, listen, I'll just skip you, Mac. All right. Oh, who's that? Who is this? I mean, hopefully we get a decent conversation. Good morning, Mac. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you doing, champ?
I'm doing okay, bro. I don't know what the hell I just got myself into.
Oh, okay. So you haven't been listening to anything that I've been saying.
No. I just tuned in, but it sounded like, the MAGA things and the Democrat. I just see people saying Democrats are this, Republican. And I'm just like, to me, in my opinion, my comment was, if you don't think both parties are purchased criminals, I don't think you're a true patriot. Because to me, in my opinion, this whole system, like, right, if you tame this, tame that, bro,
can I ask you a question?
They fucking us both over.
Wait. Like, now we gotta keep it clean because I
I apologize.
Communities and stuff like that. My mom listening. Okay, well, listen, we just do it. We get straight to business over here and so maybe I brought you up, and this might be too early and premature, but who did you vote for? That's it.
Oh, I voted Green.
Name?
Yes. Oh, Jill Stein. For presidential, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Jill Stein. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
okay.
I feel like we should roll towards independence because if you look, AIPAC purchased over 80% of both parties.
Okay, listen. Mac made it. What I'll do is this. I'm going to spare you. I'm going to spare you the lake of fire, and I'm just going to try to find somebody who's certified crazy, so to speak. All right, certified demonic. All right.
Okay, I understand.
You seem like you could just be misinformed. You know what I'm saying? And you could have inadvertently ended up being Blaga and not know it. And so what we'll do is we'll help you get to that point. But you made a mistake. I'll be honest with you. You might not understand it, but you've been misled a little bit. All right.
Okay, I would look. I'm gonna follow you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. And what I'll do is this: I'll send you back to the comment section, but you can come on back after you catch a dose of what we're doing. All right. So again, W Zeus. I'm not gonna get on him because he's not the one right now out here saying evil things about Democrats. All right. He's playing the two sides thing, but I'll just say this: the gravity of the situation that we're in right now, it's crystal clear. You should have supported Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris. She wouldn't have had us in this situation. All right, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. All right, let's try this again. All right, and what I want to do is start getting folks to actually come up here and acknowledge that they are wrong. They're living in sin. All right. And this is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. They don't want to do it. All right, so maybe this will help them. All right, we'll try it this way. I'll bring up some help. Hi, Takesha. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, Zeus. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a little concerned, to be honest with you. Why? I just gave them evidence that it's not the Democrats, it's not immigrants. Why are they struggling?
Zeus, let me say this. First of all, where is Jill Stein? That's my only question for the last guest. Where is Jill Stein? Okay, that's the only question I'm gonna ask him, and I'm gonna leave that alone.
Fair enough.
The Republicans saying that the Pew Pew was a Democrat is really hilarious to me. Because we don't run around like Rambo assassinating people. We don't do that kind of stuff. Anytime you see something going on like this, it's a radicalized Republican. So I don't really care what. Let me say this nicely. I really don't care what fabric softener just got in the box and said. He knows good and well that man was not a Democrat. Saying this man is a Democrat after his roommate has come out. You know, the man that actually lived with him.
Yeah.
And said that that's just like me telling your mama something about you and I'm bucking against her, and you been living with her, and she knows you, and I just know you from the internet.
Amen.
That's how ignorant they
sound. That's a new one. I like that term.
That's how ignorant they sound, telling this man's roommate that he wrong about the man he live with.
Thank you.
It's ignorant. Why do they keep making a fool of themselves, Zeus?
I don't get it.
Internet.
They do.
They sound more ignorant by the day. They sound more ignorant by the comment. They sound more ignorant by the live. And I'm sick of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now let's talk about this floop of a parade, Zeus.
Okay. The parade, is that what we call it? The flop.
The flopade.
The flopade. All right.
Yeah.
Made fools of themselves again.
Yeah, the flop parade.
Yeah.
Zeus, my son took a course in high school called ROTC.
And
it was a course where they were trying to, get him prepared in case they wanted to go to the Army. I had to make sure his uniform was creased and his shoes were shined. He had to make sure he was groomed on the days he had to wear his uniform.
Yeah.
And everything they did in order and in sync.
Yeah.
What I witnessed from that charade that went on Saturday.
Yeah.
Those men in uniform did not want to be there. They didn't march in sync. They were not uniformed on anything that they did, Zeus. They was out there walking like they were tired. I enjoyed the Magic City Classic Parade more than I enjoyed that. Zeus, when you were in, even the high school band was more in sync than those servicemen were this weekend. Trump was asleep. Marco Rubio was yawning. And Melania's face was melting. Because that face tighter than a virgin on any prom night. She done had more work on her face than the mechanic done did to a box Chevy. So what we saw Saturday was a birthday party that no one wanted to attend and no one enjoyed.
W to Keisha. Wow. Is that what it looked like to you? I saw men and women in uniform humiliating themselves on a global stage for Donald Trump. That's how I looked at it. And
those
I said,
people did not want to be there, Zeus. And Donald Trump has gotten up, found him some pictures, posted them on his Truth Social to make it seem like there were really a lot. Posted them on his Truth Social to make it seem like there were really a lot of people there. There were not.
Wow. Let me see if I have
Anytime
that.
you got to get up and lie, and make up pictures to make yourself look good, you know that you have failed at what you tried to do.
Bingo.
If he hadn't tried to make it seem like he was doing something good for the service and he actually did something for the service that did not involve motive, is what made it what it was not.
Yeah.
It was the motive, Zeus.
Yeah.
And
So it was self-inflicted. You're saying it was self-inflicted at the end of the day.
It was self-inflicted because, Zeus, you don't care anything about our servicemen. You did that to try to get this big celebration on your birthday, and it turned out to be a flop. A total flop. And I don't care what MAGA say. I don't care what a Republican say. I don't care what Fox News say. I keep telling y'all that everything this man tries to do is going to fail.
Yeah.
This is his harvest reaping time. Everything Daddy sold Zeus, he's reaping it right now. Now you're talking about you gonna try to get Putin to try to broker a deal between Iran and Israel. No, Mr. Deal Maker.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Art of the Deal. No, Mr. Everybody's scared of you and no wars happened under you. And you this great leader. And when you get in office, everything gonna magically stop because you're the great and powerful Donald Trump. No, my boy.
And you know the gas prices have gone up now. Did you hear about this?
Let me
Because of the Strait of Hormuz or whatever, Yarpuz, however you say it, right? The strait over there between Iran and Oman. It's the place where half the oil goes through, and they're saying gas prices are shooting up. It's going to go through the roof because of Donald Trump. What do you think about this?
Zeus, them gas prices them gas prices went up faster than my skirt did the night I wanted to give it up. Yeah.
I thought he said gas was $1.98 somewhere in the United States, but it doesn't seem like it's heading that way. The price of a barrel of oil shot up as soon as this conflict started, and I said, wow.
And we should have expected it. Like I said, Zeus, every time he thinks he's got something to brag on, the Lord just take it right on from him and show it. You ain't got nothing to brag on, sir. Bingo. It's your retribution time, sir.
Thank you,
I gave you plenty of chances to get your life right, sir. I gave you grace and mercy, sir. But yours running out, sir, because you didn't want it, sir. You didn't have it for anybody else, sir. And I'm not going to keep giving it to you, sir.
Go ahead, preach that gospel. Because somebody out there needs to be saved. Somebody out there needs to be saved.
Everybody that caters to this man, everybody that's made this man their king and their God, they're going to fall down the same hole he falls down.
Amen. Amen. And we're watching it happen in record time. I said in 6 months, all of the lies he's been telling, they've been fully exposed. And I said only the good Lord could have done this to these so-called Christians, right? Everything he's said he was going to do, it's been proven he can't do it.
Absolutely, Zeus.
Did he lower the grocery prices?
No, he did not, Zeus.
Eggs, are they down 400% like he said?
No, they're not, Zeus.
No, they ain't. Did he end the conflicts between Russia and Ukraine?
No, they did not, Zeus.
Are we getting more wars now? Because the Bible talks about be careful about the one promising peace. What's the rest of that?
Get rumors of wars and stuff, Zeus. Come on now, Zeus.
Right here, it's right there in their face.
Come on,
right
now,
there
Zeus.
In their face.
Yeah. They don't see it, Zeus. What I'm gonna say this. What's funny to me are the people that call themselves Christians.
Mm-hmm.
They want to always bring up transgender, and they want to bring up the gay people and all that. And then they want to put it to what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh.
And the reason I know they don't study their Bible, Zeus, because let me get them a little lesson on Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay.
The Bible does not say that he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of homosexuality. It said that God said, if I could find one righteous person, I will spare the city. So guess what that meant, Zeus? That meant that although there were homosexuals there were fake Christians there too.
AKA MAGA.
Because if he couldn't find one righteous person, Zeus, that means that the people that were claiming to be on his side was false as well. And that's why he destroyed it. He didn't destroy it because of the homosexuals. He destroyed it because he couldn't find one person that said they was a Christian that was real. So
amen. Thank you.
These people until you get yourself right.
Amen.
How about that?
Amen. Takesha, you laid it down like a carpenter, my sister. All right, I got to give it to you. And you know that they hear you because I've been looking at the comment section. Radio tight, lips sealed. They ain't got nothing to say. That's what happens when they get hit with the truth. So thank you.
You got to tell the truth, and you got to stop taking the Bible out of context, and you got to see that he said, if I can find one righteous, I'll spare it. So that means that the Christian that was over there too was false as well. And that's what we seeing these days, Zeus. They some pick and choose Christians. They want to pick and choose what they want to do at the Bible and pick and choose what they don't.
Yeah, and we gonna get them straight.
Stop picking and choosing and get yourself together.
Amen. All right, Takesha, well, listen, as always, thank you so much. All right, you did an outstanding job telling the truth and shaming the devil. We need more of it. All right.
All right, brother.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Takesha another huge round of applause. No lies detected. All right, let's see. Do we have any Trump supporters out there that want to come up here and get delivered? Let's go ahead, put a one in the chat, and we'll bring you right on up here. All right. But you got to be willing to be honest with us. I mean, we spread love on this platform. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're some of the most loving people. We're some of the most caring people. But we have zero tolerance for the lies and the misinformation, especially when you're intentionally doing it. You can't. I mean, all I'm asking is for a decent Trump supporter, if they exist, to come up here and actually acknowledge some facts that we got. All right. And the way that you acknowledge these facts is you simply accept what's being said to you, especially when I'm giving it to you from Fox News or the roommate of the people involved with this latest incident. It just blows my mind. All right, that we live in a country where as soon as you start sharing facts with people, their minds, they start looking for exits. Oh, that's too much. I got to look for an exit. Like this weekend, when I had to have a conversation about January 6th with a Trump supporter, and you know what they wanted to do? They wanted to bring up the QAnon shaman. This is what they did to me. They brought up the QAnon shaman, and they said, Zeus, look at this. The cops were escorting him around. Sean Hannity released the video footage. And I said, that absolves him. And I said, did you read the docket? Did you read what they actually convicted him of? What did they convict him of? The activities he did before the video footage Sean Hannity showed you. Did you know all of that? Oh. And then they go, oh. And they just got real quiet. Well, see, this is why it's both sides. No, it's not both sides. This is called you being intellectually lazy and mixed with you, obviously, being prone to demonic forces. And so what happens is when you're a lazy person, right, and you allow the demon to do a number on you, you end up becoming a vassal of transgression, all right? And your works, they're not the works of God. They're the works of the devil, W. Zeus. Hi, Attacking. Good morning, bro. How are you?
I am fantastic. Hey,
Yeah.
I have some picture displays I'd like to put up for you.
Yeah, I figured you did your homework and you had things, because you don't come up unless you actually know what you got. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, well, what's kind of funny is having a Toilet Paper Man. I call him Toilet Paper Man. What's that say there, Zeus? Registered Republican, voted for Trump. He's a preacher. What's another thing is really important.
Let's speak on it, Attacking. I just said that, but you got the evidence. Wow.
Another thing that's important is security contractor. That means he knows how to do surveillance.
Oh.
So for the people that he pew-pewed, I'm sure he watched what was going on activity-wise and so on and so forth. And what's really important about this is Toilet Paper Man. He made a video, because I guess go look at this, and I looked at his page, saying that Tim Walz called during the presser when he first came out, and said that it was a political hit or whatever.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, when Donald Trump's first attempt from the young kid on the roof,
yeah,
within 30 minutes, people like Toilet Paper Man and a person who I call Eggplant, her screen name is like Turnip.
Yeah.
Put out a video saying that the Democrats tried to unalive Donald J. Trump without any proof or evidence that came out.
Yeah. Right? That's their thing. That's their thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, they called him a Democrat when really he was a Republican also, just like the guy at Mar-a-Lago who didn't do anything. He just got caught ahead of time. Here's another thing. You got the Trump supporters saying that 200,000 plus people were at Trump's rally.
What?
Yeah. And there's videos from not only news sources, but people who were there, that there was no 200,000 people. As a matter of fact, let me put something up. Let me so they understand the difference.
They can't even do math. They just throw numbers out. I mean, wow, you Trump supporter.
This is an example of about 200,000 people.
Wow. Yeah, that's serious business. Yeah.
Let me show you up another picture.
Yeah. 200,000. Wow.
Here we go. Here we
go.
Here. When the seats are empty on the stands, and you hear the creaking of the tanks going down the street, that must mean there's nothing there, because when you hear the tanks over the people sitting on the bleachers, yeah. And by the
there's
way,
more people in the parade than there's people watching it. I mean, this is
yeah. There's more. There were more servicemen there.
Trump supporters.
There were more servicemen there than there were Trump supporters. And by the way, there were more servicemen there. Hold on. The United States Capitol building were attacked by more supporters than there were at Trump's rally. Okay.
So
right.
maybe they've learned to not go to the Capitol when he tries to lure them there. I think that's what's going on. We're going to catch a case. Smart.
And the thing is this. And the thing is this. Here's a picture of Trump, which shows up bigger on my page. When the president is saluting the troops, and the crowd that's above, the picture that's above the military,
yeah.
When you can see grass, that means there's nobody there. When you can see the grass of where I'm standing, that means that there's not a lot of people there. Okay?
That's funny to me. I don't know why, but it is.
And just like Wakanda said,
yeah.
If you look at the marching, they were not in lockstep.
Oh, you mean Takesha, I think.
Takesha, sorry.
But maybe
the thing is, they're not in lockstep.
Yeah.
You can see when one person put his right foot forward, and another person's got to left. And so instead of being like left, right, left,
order.
Yeah, there was no command leader in front of them walking and telling them to keep pace with them, right? There was nothing. Also, I got audio, which I'm going to make a video.
Yeah.
They're talking about who paid for the military parade. It basically breaks down to there were investors, but the donors and businesses. It really wasn't for the parade. It was for other entities, regardless of substance. The United States taxpayer paid for the military parade. Now there are donors, as you can see here.
Yeah.
Some type, but it was for other things, not the military parade in itself.
Wow. So we got stuck with the bill, so to speak.
Yeah, just like every time. And by the way, I made this.
This is sad.
I made this. And I was doing my broadcast before you came on, and then I ended up, because I saw that you were on. What do you think, Trump supporters, if Donald Trump was to pardon this guy like he did 1,600 people of the attack on January 6th, people who beat up cops, who 140 cops, who caused the unaliving of several people in relationship to the attack on the Capitol and the lie that the election was stolen? If Donald Trump was to pardon this guy, would you be okay with it? Because while he didn't post anything on his Truth Social, I made this because I wanted to get some type of reaction. But the fact that I have to even think that a sitting president would even consider pardoning somebody who did this type of heinous crime, as Donald Trump himself has said that he's considering pardoning the people that wanted to attack Governor Whitmer, kidnap her and unalive her. Donald Trump's and he said that he's thinking about doing it because it's like a setup.
Yeah.
So you Trump supporters are good with him pardoning people who commit violence towards Democrats. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
He's giving you the ability.
Wait a second. So maybe you can help us. Cynthia Wisniewski says the parade was planned under Biden administration. Do your research. Would you happen to know anything about Biden planning this parade? Because is this another MAGA talking point?
I heard something about that, but the thing is this: Trump thought about this his first presidency. He wanted to do it his first presidency. And it's kind of like what they're referencing, saying that Joe Biden talked to Qatar in regards to getting a plane, which is false.
Yeah.
And now the thing is this: Qatar or Qatar, however you want to say it, they're the ones who have said, "Hey, we want a letter from Trump's White House because they're the ones who came to us, and we want a letter protecting us for legal ramifications." So Trump, when Trump says they came to him and donated a plane, no. Trump and the White House went to Qatar or Qatar, however you want to say it.
I say Qatar because I know
Qatar.
MAGA can't say it either. MAGA can't say. I like to use language that MAGA can't use because they're totally delusional.
So the bottom line is Trump went to them to get a plane. They didn't donate it out of the kindness of their heart.
Yeah.
But
so we just cooked.
Right. So the thing is this: for me to even consider thinking about Trump would pardon somebody, this is the worst president ever we've had. He attacks people, he pardons criminals, and he puts out hatred rhetoric that you Trump supporters support and push. This is a deplorable, unethical, immoral president of the United States when he's sending the National Guard to Los Angeles when there's nothing happening Thursday or Friday and then things started to happen when they got there. When you have 5 to 10 million people that were peacefully protesting at thousands of rallies across the United States because we got somebody who literally wants to impose martial law so he can be the first dictator of the United States of America. And you Trump supporters are good with it.
Yeah, that's weird.
I have not heard one Trump supporter on the other side, Zeus, call this man who unalived the Democrats. I have not heard them say one thing about it.
Because that's their game. They're going to do these things and then blame Democrats. Right. It's so obvious that's their game plan, and it's not working. It's not even working.
Yeah, I don't have any audio sent to me that they're calling them out. They're not calling them out. They're not saying that this is horrible. You have somebody like Snuggles doing the opposite. Again, lying to you straight to your face, saying he's a Democrat.
I voted for Obama. You know those lies they like to say. I voted for Obama. No, you didn't.
So I'm going to drop. Everybody be good. Everybody be safe. And everybody keep the fake Trump supporters in line. Hold them accountable. And of course, we have fake Trump supporters who have turned to the Democrats who won't hold their friends accountable for lying.
Absolutely. And we're going to make sure we're going to get the truth. W attacking. No lies detected. Someone said, Zeus, you only bring up friendlies. No, I don't. If you're a Trump supporter, put one in the chat. Watch this trick. Watch this trick. You want me to show you how to make a bunch of Trump supporters zip it? Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Watch this. You won't see. They're going to. Nah, I don't want to get in that box and have all these people listening to me say these things that make absolutely no sense. I'm gonna sit there and zip it. Look at this, Eve. How about you, Eve? Come on up here, Eve. Watch this, Eve. This is a Russian bot. I sent you a request. How about this? Send me a guest request, MAGA, if you want to come up here. It doesn't take long to debunk these people and their lies in real time. Eve, so you're struggling. I sent Eve a guest request, and Eve is struggling to accept it because Eve is panicking right now. Blood pressure going up. I don't know my talking points. I don't got it all figured out. Fair enough. Hustle, Dad. I sent you an invite. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Brave
How
one.
are you?
You're pretty brave to do this. I'm doing all right. What part of the country are you calling in from?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. Originally from Chicago.
Oh my, I saw a post the other day. There's a lot of nasty headlines coming out of that area right now. So, I mean, and again, I truly believe there's a spirit of darkness upon this nation. And so that's why I'm out here doing this show, because I recognize it's very important to combat misinformation in real time, because, there's lies travel further than the truth, so to speak. But, what do you think about what I'm talking about? I don't know if you just tuned in or not, but...
Yeah, I did. I'm getting ready to walk into an appointment, but I think it's funny, respectfully. I agree with you. There is a spirit of darkness over this entire country, and it's really, really scary right now. But do you think that the messaging that you're putting out there about holding anyone that supports their president accountable sounds kind of threatening? I mean, do you think that's helping or hurting the spirit of darkness?
Well, how do I guess I would be willing to consider your approach and say maybe I could dial it back and pivot and do something different. What do you recommend that I do in order to help people who continue to support this stuff stop doing it?
It's a message of unity, that we can disagree and still get along as Americans, as human beings, as creations of God, regardless of who we voted for. Rather than making it all about politics, man. These politicians don't care about any of us.
Well, let me ask a question then. How do you deal with people who are out here being false accusers of the brethren, so to speak? For instance, if I was just randomly going around and accusing you of doing things you didn't do, would you be responding to me with unity, or would you kind of want to push back against that?
I deal with that myself quite a bit.
Like, people are accusing you of doing things that, Jeffrey Epstein did. How would you deal with someone telling everybody with their audience, this person, Hustle Dad, he does what Epstein does? How should you respond to that? I'm just trying to test out what you're saying, because I want to get it right.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't even waste my time with somebody that just makes false accusations blindly with no knowledge of who I am or what I do in my day-to-day life, right? Like, anybody that's doing something like that isn't worth the time or the breath or the energy to even respond to, right?
But it's having real life consequences, like what happened in Minnesota. You following that story?
I did, yeah. And
what's happened? Huh?
And so let me just.
Can I just say this part, and then, because this is why I'm saying it this way. When this thing first happened, a lot of people on the right were accusing the Democrats of it, and I get tired of having to defend my position and be like, we're not promoting violence. We just want Donald Trump to be held accountable for what he's done. But why do we got to continue to be accused of being violent simply because we're calling him out for being a liar or a fraudster? You know what I mean?
I think those are two totally separate subjects, right? Like, instead of, what does politics have to do with a person that did what that dude did in Minnesota?
Well, it was politically motivated.
That's what Tim Walz says, right? But he was also appointed by Tim Walz. So of course the right is going to say, "Oh, it's a Democrat that did it. They're violent people," and then the story comes out that he did what he did.
Okay,
if I could just finish,
go for it.
The people that were unalived by that man also voted against, giving aid to immigrants. So I mean, of course, the media is going to try and draw it into party lines instead of us looking at the person that actually did the crime, hold him responsible. What is wrong with him? It's not about politics.
Well, okay, but let's be clear. It's not a Democrat that did that, correct?
I can't agree with you on that. I don't know that that's fact or fiction. From what I'm told, he was appointed by Tim Walz.
Wait. He's a registered. So remember when we said, how do we talk to folks who you see the truth, but we can't get you to just own it? He's not. His roommate actually said he's a Trump supporter. Fox News. You want
Okay.
Attacking just showed the video. So
answer me this question: who appointed him to his position of power?
I could listen.
Would you agree? Anything?
Would you agree that President Biden probably appointed Trump supporters throughout his position in the office to various federal positions? I don't have a problem with that, sir. All right. But what I do have a problem with is lying. Even if Walz did what you said he did, he's still a Trump supporter. He still voted for Donald Trump. So why can't you quit? Why is it so easy for you to point out something the Democrats have done, but you can't say anything that a Trump supporter has done? You see the issue? And so I'm trying to clean up my rhetoric. Remember, you said, Zeus, do you think your rhetoric is helping? And I'm trying my best to meet you in the middle, because if there's a way I can do this to get you to come out of the fog without being as harsh as I am, I'm willing to do it. But it seems like you're not trying to live up to those same standards you're trying to get me to live up to.
Listen, what you're doing is trying to point fingers. What I'm doing is looking at facts. And I think that's the big difference here, is like, rather than dealing with pointing at fingers, Trump, you guys are so obsessed with Donald Trump, and anybody that is of conservative values doesn't give a shit about Donald Trump.
Wait, keep it clean now. We keep it clean, because I got, my mom watches the show and I don't like to have her in my ear. But
we could care less about Donald Trump as much as we care about the country being a better place for our citizens and innocent people and our children. and future generations to live. All y'all on the other side care about.
But see, you're pointing the finger right when you did that. As soon as you did that, you turned. But you just got on me for pointing the finger. See, what I do is I help MAGA understand it's their hypocrisy. That's the reason this dark cloud of judgment is on this nation. You really can't point at a real incident the Democrats have done that's made your life worse. You can't. But we can point at several instances right now that you and I could both agree on is making your life harder. For instance, Trump's tariffs. A lot of people who own businesses were negatively harmed by those tariffs, correct?
I think using
yes or no, you look at facts. A lot, even with these raids that ICE is doing, Trump basically said, "Oh, we got to stop doing it in the hospitality industry, right, and entertainment, because businesses are being harmed by the ICE raids." And guess who owns businesses? Trump supporters. So these are things your dear farmers too. These are things your dear leader is doing to you all, but you will never acknowledge it. You want to talk about what Democrats are doing? We don't have power. Remember, all we can do is protest. Am I right, Hustle Dad? You seem like you've made it to your appointment, right?
I did, and I'd love to continue this conversation. I'll check you out soon for sure.
All right, yeah, because you need to come on back here. But in the meantime, what I'll do is I'm going to have to pick up where I left off, champ, all right? But you're more than welcome to continue to listen, all right? And I hope to hear from you again, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, that's Hustle Dad. Hustle Dad got up in my box, and he tried to appeal to our better angels, which is what George Washington would require us to do. But when I asked him to do the same thing and appeal to his better angels, oh, look at that. I got to appeal to live. We got reported. Okay, it doesn't matter. When I asked him to appeal to his better angels, he couldn't do that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send him where he belongs, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA Daily.
W Zeus. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to really have a breakthrough moment with these Trump supporters. All right, Levito, good morning.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm all right. You voted for Trump?
Yeah. I talked to you before. You probably don't remember. I talked to you before.
I probably don't. Have you been paying attention to the things that I've been saying so far on this show this morning?
I just came in after you told that man that he finally got to his appointment.
Okay, yeah. Well, let me just get you to come to some understanding. So Benjamin Netanyahu went on Fox News this weekend. He announced that the attempts on Trump's life, that was all done by the Iranians through proxies. And you know, these people that did that, they were Republicans, right?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't Democrats. They weren't immigrants. Did you know that?
Yeah. I mean,
okay. So you understand that these people out here saying the Democrats are promoting violence and stuff like that, they're lying. You do get this, right?
Well, no, they're not lying.
No. Okay, so let me give you another thing. The suspect that happened to do what he did in Minnesota, was he an immigrant?
No.
What was he?
A U.S. citizen that was hired by Tim Walz.
Whoa, wrong. You must have forgot the other part.
True Social Post.
No, thank you. Here's the thing. He's not an immigrant. He's not a Democrat. He's a Republican / Trump supporter. He's a Christian, and he hurt women. Did you know that? That's your party. So Levito, this is why I'm trying to say, at a certain point, we have to stop pretending like it's not that. Why do you continue to dig deeper into this nonsense?
So let me tell you, I'll be the first one to say. Well, I'm not the first one to say because Donald Trump has condemned it. I come after Trump. I'll be the second person to say that what that man did in Minnesota is not okay. It's not. Political violence is never okay. But I don't think we should be taking lectures from y'all. And y'all, I remember when Donald Trump was grazed in the ear, y'all laughed. I remember y'all denied it being real. Y'all laughed at political violence. But now that, hey, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the pew-pew. You know what I'm saying? And you could substitute pew-pew. Yeah. So
I get what you're saying. So one thing's for sure, you understand it's not the Democrats doing this stuff now, right?
No, y'all laughed at. I just told you.
No. I'm not asking how we reacted to it, but the narrative that your party continues to push, we're understanding that it's the Democrats had nothing to do with it, right? Just like, and I cover it all the time, January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats had nothing to do with the planning of that event
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Well, I mean,
we don't have anything going. We don't promote violence. You do get this, right?
Y'all been burning Teslas for 6 months.
So, Levito, again, I'm not even bringing in Tesla. I'm asking you about these two recent incidences. And I need you to just acknowledge these are Republican situations. And this is MAGA. This has nothing to do with the Democrats. How we respond to it, as long as we're not breaking any laws, isn't that acceptable? Right? I mean, we don't live in a state where you got to control how people react to things, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So this is what I'm trying to make sure we have an understanding about. Y'all got to quit saying it's the radical left and the Democrats doing X, Y, and Z when all the evidence continues to come out and say it's not the Democrats, it's not the immigrants, it's your dear leader.
So great. I can say that some of Donald Trump's rhetoric.
Some.
I'm almost done. I'm being honest.
Okay, I'll give you that. That was a big move that you just made. My bad.
Some
I'll give
of
you
Donald
that. That was a
Trump's
big
rhetoric-
move.
Some of Donald Trump's rhetoric can lead to. We do have radicals on the right, the far right lunatics. Those are like the cult members, that are violent. They get violent. I mean, it is, and it's not okay. But my point here, I want to say more because I want to stay on these topics. It's just hypocrisy when we talk about Israel. I believe you brought up Israel, right? That's the first thing you brought up, right?
I brought up what Netanyahu said. Yes.
Yeah, great. Netanyahu's the leader of Israel, the prime minister, president of Israel.
I get all that, but I don't want to get too off of what I'm trying to make a point about. But is there something you want to mention about that's related to what we're talking about?
Yeah, so it's funny that, and I do think we have a neocon problem on the Republican side with support for that place, but you guys lost. Literally, the uncommitted voting movement was the thing that costed you guys this election because of Joe Biden and his affairs with
Oh no. I posted a video, and this came out in Rockland. All right, they're investigating how those votes were actually counted. So as much as I want to, I do believe that there was that element, but I'm actually now starting to question, and legitimately so, how the votes were tabulated and Trump getting way more votes in the districts that just didn't add up. Over 700,000 votes in some case. That's more than anybody was able to get. And how did he get them? And how did all these people vote Democrat? But then when you get to Kamala Harris, it's blank. That doesn't make sense. And then you had the Elon Musk saying things like, "If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have won the election." Yeah, and then Trump said something about he knows Elon knows those computers. I got questions, and so I wouldn't go that route. With this. It's a very sore subject right now, to be honest with you.
I just want to say one thing to that. One thing. So number one, and this is why I stopped supporting Elon the moment he said that. And I always had feelings on Elon being like an infiltrator through the left because the left used to love him in his little electric cars because y'all believe in global warming, even though the earth has always gotten hot and cold.
Well, it's common sense. You ever put yourself in a garage and turn the car on and let it happen? Have you ever done anything like that? What happens?
No, that would unalive you if you did that.
Thank you. So, W Zeus, come on, man. Let's stop pretending. Just because, see, the problem with a lot of you is this. If you can't see it, it doesn't exist. And I'm like, just pick up a science book. It's common sense.
No, but the earth has always gotten hot and cold. I don't believe in climate change. But
okay, that's like saying you've always woken up and went to sleep, so guess what? Death isn't real. Stop it, bro. W Zeus. You can't connect dots in ways like when you start connecting dots and then you think two things true equals third thing true. I want you to just stop, because if you really picked up a course, go take a math class, you'll understand how logic works. It doesn't work like that always, sir. And this is the problem with a lot of you Trump supporters. Y'all get just enough information to sound informed and intelligent, but when you actually go out and put the information you're actually trying to push, and now you try to test it in the real world, it's always going to fail. That's why you're not a professional at what you do.
Well,
you get how this works?
Well, I'm a professional at knowing about, it is good.
I'm just trying to help you be better. That's all.
So I was actually getting, I was getting to a point. So, like I said, even though I was already skeptical about Elon because the left used to love him, all of a sudden he wants to support the right. Elon Musk, what he said, saying that if it wasn't for Trump, if it wasn't for him, Trump wouldn't have won. Hey, I want to remind you, there was 1,600 people running into a Capitol before Elon was a thing. There'll be 1,600 people running into a Capitol after Elon. MAGA doesn't start nor begin with Elon. There was 100,000 people at the Save America rally before Elon. There'll be 100,000 people at the Save America rally after Elon. Elon's a part of the team. He's not bigger than the team. Sorry. That man behind you and all his 6'3", 240 pounds that he is just turned 79. By the way,
he said he's 215 pounds and he has strawberry blonde hair. So I mean, really, who do you believe?
No, but I think he's a little bit more. He has a little bit more.
You checked him out. Look, you've had a more up close experience and seen him for what he was. Right?
I've never seen Trump in person. I just know about him. Like if you ask me like his birthday, his birth time, things like that, I know that.
Okay. Well, I'll say this. Good luck on trying to make Elon seem insignificant, but you and I both know that if Elon wasn't in the picture, Trump would have really, really taken a huge L. So and I don't. Yeah, because Elon he did a lot of things for Trump during this previous election cycle. And let's just be clear. Didn't he go onto his platform and say, Trump, he's not releasing those Epstein files because of what? What did Elon say?
He was in them.
Yeah. And what did Trump do?
I mean, Trump was about to sue him. Everybody knows he's about to
No, what did Trump do though? The answer is nothing. W Zeus. So Trump attacks all people he thinks are weak. You notice that, right? That's his pattern. That's how he operates. But for some reason, he didn't do anything about that. He said, I'm going to let Elon live on that one because maybe Elon did know something. Maybe Elon did hook those computers up when he was in the White House and got that dirt on him. Because you don't launch a bomb like that on your platform unless you got the goods for real. You know that, right?
Yeah. I mean,
this is where I say there's a dark cloud on the United States right now because of MAGA. You got to live with this understanding that you voted for that.
Yeah, so I'm actually
that's crazy.
So I'm
you got to sit back and be like, I support this man, and I know what he did to those children through Epstein at least.
So your part, you want to know what's crazy? And this is staying on the same topic because once again we're pointing out hypocrisy. Your party every year. Not every year, every 4 years when they run Democratic candidates, you guys champion Bill Clinton, which is politics' most well-kept secret. Bill Clinton is just as dangerous as Donald Trump is. Bill Clinton was on those Epstein logs 20-something times. Bill Clinton also has cases against women, but you guys platform him every 4 years. So
first of all, I don't do any of that. All right. And you know what? I'll say this. Right is wrong is wrong. Don't let Bill Clinton around them then, period. If you got the information to support that, I don't care. But what I won't be doing is sitting here making excuses for the inexcusable. Bill Clinton's came and gone. You can't erase that. But going forward, you could address that. Okay, Bill Clinton, stay the hell away from the White House, right? You could say that, but I would have never turned around and said, well, I voted for a felon. I would have never did that like you. You know what I mean?
Does a felony degrade you as a human? Does that stop you from being a human?
No, not at all. But, it's very important that you take the accountability and then do the work to get rehabilitated, right? Because, see, that means, okay, I made a mistake and I'm taking full responsibility for it and I'm going to try to right the wrong. I get that and I'm totally supportive of that, right? Because there's a lot of people in America under those situations. I don't have an issue with that as long as you take you did your crime, you did your time, and you're a better person. But what I do have a problem with is folks who know better justifying evil and wrong and then trying to convince me, it's okay. We're going to be good. No, we're not going to be good. We're going down a very, very dark path in this country. And it's because Trump supporters refuse to acknowledge the truth. And the only truth before you go, because I got to move it on, is this. These latest incidences, right, that involved the attempts on his life, and then the what happened in Minnesota. They weren't Democrats and they weren't immigrants. They weren't members of the LGBTQ plus community. We can agree on that, right?
Right.
And so now that that's understood, and then we need to also understand the vessels that are being used to do these horrible, evil acts are the folks on the right, the so-called Christians, the Trump supporters, right?
Yes, some of them do that. Yes.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Well, I gotta move it on, Levito.
Before you ban it, because I went to hell last time for some reason too.
Well, no, you agreed that it's the right, so I gotta spare you. That was you actually did the right thing. No, because you acknowledge it's the right. No. I just gotta move it on now.
Yeah, but wait. I want to say, and I'm being for real. If anybody in the Trump administration is listening, if you want to offer me a job as a janitor, anything in the White House or at Mar-a-Lago, I swear to God, I'll take it. Right hand to the Lord.
Okay. That's enough right there. Now that's going to get you sent to hell. So, Levito, I just gave you a free pass. I'm not going to do him in. But then he turned around, proselytized himself, and decided he's going to do everything he can to support evil and wickedness, even clean Donald Trump's dirty toilet. You can't make this stuff up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send him straight to hell.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
W. Zeus. Anything to smell that diaper. Anything. And then you wonder why God's judgment is truly upon these folks. I've never seen anything like that. I've never heard anything like that. That is totally sick. I will scrub his dirty toilets, which, obviously, that toilet has probably seen better days, right? But this MAGA demon, that's heaven to him. That's heaven. Ooh. Because the Bible has that story about the rich man in hell, and I just need a drop of water, because that's how tortured hell is, right? You just want a drop of water. This MAGA demon, I just need to scrub his toilet just one time in order for Trump's blessings to come all over. This is some sick stuff these Trump supporters have gotten themselves in, and I just can't believe. I just never heard anything like this in my life, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to bring up our next panelist, Diava. Good morning. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, how are you doing? Welcome.
I'm doing really well, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. What do you got for us?
Got super excited. I'm in a very small town in Florida, and it's very red, where people still drive around with Confederate flags on their trucks.
Wow.
And there was a very decent sized crowd for the No Kings protest. So that was super exciting. It actually brought me to tears because, I feel like I'm kind of alone down here.
Yeah.
And it moved me to tears to think that there was people that were still willing to fight for democracy. And it was just amazing. So
Amen. That's awesome. That's great news to me, and it makes me feel great. Let's go. That means you're having an impact whether you know it or not. All right. And so that's why I'm going to say, keep up the great work.
What I wanted to come up here to say was I'm so sick and tired of hearing about Tim Walz appointing Bolter to some stupid board or whatever. And the fact is he was reappointed because his guy already had this appointment, but it was a state board focused on Minnesota's workforce. And it was a bipartisan board where they had Republicans and Democrats on this board. So all he did was reappoint him to this board that focused on Minnesota's workforce. And if people don't realize, the governors of every state appoints thousands of people of political affiliations to legislature created external boards and commissions and stuff like that.
And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle these people are on when they do that, right?
Correct. Just like I'm a notary in the state of Florida. Ron DeSantis commissioned my last renewal. He doesn't know me. But he signed my certificate that I'm a representative of the state of Florida, blah, blah, blah.
Thank you.
So just because I'm so sick of hearing it, and we've heard it over and over because that's all they're focusing on, so they can try to make it out that this guy was a Dem. And he was a Democrat. So if I went out and committed a crime, you can't blame it on DeSantis.
No.
Even though I think he's a dirtbag, but I'm just saying, he doesn't know me, even though he signed my certificate that I'm of good character, because you have to be of good character and have no criminal background in order to be a notary in Florida.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to bring that up because it's it's one of those talking points that drives me absolutely crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? It drives us crazy, but you knew as soon as this stuff started happening, this is where they went.
Yes.
Tim Walz did this. Oh, this person voted for that, so this is why the Democrats did this thing to get them. And here we go down that path. And I like that you illustrated that Governor Ron DeSantis, who you clearly do not like, all right,
No.
in terms of policy, perhaps, right? He doesn't know you. If you did anything, I like how you said it would be your fault. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Right. He signed my certificate that I've of good character and that I'm a representative of the state of Florida, but he doesn't know me.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
but his name is on their certificate because they're bringing up the certificate that has Walz's name on it and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I have a certificate with Ron DeSantis' name on it. Doesn't mean anything.
Thank you. Conservative
So-
Christina is mad at you. She said, El Diablo. Conservative Christina, didn't we have a conversation with you? Why do you know her? Why is she upset with you?
I don't know. I don't think I know her.
Oh,
But-
because we sent her straight to hell last weekend, and I'm wondering, but she's back, so this means something woke up inside of her. Let me see.
That
let me
MAGA
see.
demon.
yeah, something woke up inside of her. So, Conservative Christina, what's going on, real quickly? All right, I think she's calm now. All right, well, listen, Diava, you've cooked and you've booked, all right. But if she comes back up here, I might have to reach out to you, all right.
Okay, I'll be right here listening.
All right, W Diava.
Thank you.
Yeah, if she comes back up here, I'm going to ask her to come back up here with you because she shouldn't be saying that about you. You made a very, very good point, and she should have just embraced it and accepted it as truth.
I agree. And maybe that'll put that narrative to rest for some of these MAGA demons who can't seem to get out of their own way. Because it's the cognitive dissonance. They cannot allow themselves to believe that this was really a Republican. I mean, the guy's a Christian nationalist. He was part of he was there. I saw this sermon he was preaching in the Congo. And this guy,
in Congo.
In the Congo, you should
Wow.
you should Google that. It's quite. And there's even an interpreter who's telling it in the native language as he's preaching. So he ran a security firm over in the Congo or something, but this guy's a Christian nationalist. He's an anti-abortion activist. He had abortion clinics, Planned Parenthood. He had all kinds of different people on that manifesto, as well as politicians. So he's definitely not a Democrat.
Thank you. W Diava, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Christina, do you get it? Do you get it, Christina? Because there's no one out here who's confused about this except for you, Christina. All right, so you need to knock it off.
Yep. And they just, it hurts their brain because it's opposite of everything that they believe and feel.
Yeah.
And I'm focusing on the feel part because they go with a lot of feelings.
Mm.
DJ
hold
has
on.
a question.
DJ
Oh,
has a
God.
question for you. All right. Let's see if we can get, because DJ needs to come clean too, and I think he slowly is. Yes, DJ. What's the question?
All right, so I'm not disputing anything that she's just said. I mean, I think she's right. I mean, that letter from Tim Walz means nothing. It proves nothing to anybody, and it shouldn't. The same as, whether saying he registered as a Democrat or Republican. That doesn't matter. It really doesn't. He should be responsible for what he did.
Wait a second.
But-
If you're a registered Republican, actually it does matter in this climate, but maybe that's just my opinion.
It does matter because they're saying he's a Democrat and he's not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was anything. I was just curious that if he was a supporter of Trump and followed the Trump rules or whatever, the Trump guidelines, why would he attack those two particular legislators?
What is a Trump? What'd you say?
Guidelines.
What's a
Trump guideline?
If he was a Trump follower, okay, why would he target those two particular legislators that both just crossed the party aisle? Didn't they just have a vote to where? And again, this is a serious question.
DJ, I'm not.
The reason why they voted for that was because it was tied to the budget, just like the Republicans in our
exactly
Congress
right.
do.
Yeah,
they
I agree with
attach
that.
things to the budget because they have to fund the government, so they stick stuff in there. But do you know why else he might have targeted them? Is because He picked one from the House and one from the Senate. And both of those chambers are tied. They had a one-seated. The Republicans had they had a one-seat advantage or something over. So it wasn't because they crossed party lines, because people do that all the time. Just like they sneak in stuff in the Congress on these funding bills for the government, because the government has to be funded, and so they sneak stuff in there.
Agreed.
That we maybe not would want to vote for, but they have to fund the government. So in order to keep the government from shutting down, they vote for it even though it's less than desirable. So you guys trying to paint this narrative as just because these two people voted with the Republicans it's silly. It's silly.
It's just like trying to imply something simply because, you know, what we just discussed earlier, right? Walls appointed him. You can't make the inference. So in this case too, with the vote, you can't make the inference. You get what we're saying, DJ? I hate trying to explain MAGA belief systems.
What was included in that government package, you know, to have their budget or whatever, you know, to keep things moving, was to stop the funding for illegal aliens. Is that right or wrong?
No, DJ. That's not.
Okay, so there was.
You're talking about the Medicare stuff that they were trying to say was in there to cover the immigrants or whatever, right? I think that's the angle you're trying to do. But DJ, this is bigger than that.
I'm not trying to do an angle, Zeus. I'm asking a question. That's all I'm doing. I'm asking a question. You said
it could have had the EV mandate in there, DJ. That's besides the point. It could have had the EV in there. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. This is a registered Republican, a Christian, did work in the Congo, Trump voter. Why can't we just focus on those things?
So we want to focus on the things that make your point. Is that what you're saying?
What point are you trying to make then? We're telling you the truth. It's not a point we're trying to make. We're telling you what the set of facts are.
I'm sorry, DV. Are you finished?
I said we're not trying to spin something or tell you so it looks good on our side, quote unquote. We're just telling you the facts of what has happened. It's not a narrative we're trying to spin. We're just giving you the facts.
And the facts are that he targeted two particular members of that legislature, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And there's more to it though, right? He's not a Democrat, right?
I'm not saying he's not a Democrat. I don't know what he is.
No, he's a registered Republican, and he's a Trump supporter. He's a Trump supporter. This is why we have to.
What are you basing that on, Zeus? That he's a Trump supporter?
His roommate's statement, the information that we've been able to compile and get an accurate profile of him. I mean, have you looked into him?
The only thing I've been able to find on him was that he was registered to vote in Republican in early 2000s. According to records from Minnesota and Oklahoma.
Nope. In 2022, he was registered as a Republican as well.
So that's two.
Say that
we
again,
just get
please.
you.
2022. He was registered as a Republican in 2022.
Okay. I mean, what I'm looking at says that he may have voted Democrat in 2022. So
what are you looking at?
I'm happy. I'm happy to do more research on it.
We didn't have a vote.
My point is that conservatives were saying that this guy.
There wasn't a presidential vote in 2022.
Oh my goodness gracious.
DJ,
I'm just making it.
I can't hear what she's saying if she keeps interrupting while I'm speaking.
You came up here and you requested to speak to her, correct?
No, I said that I had a question, not necessarily for her, but she will not let me finish.
She was up here before you, am I right? Hi, Kabir. She was up here before you, am I correct?
She was, absolutely.
Okay, so whatever happened to being gentlemen? Hi, Kabir. Yeah, I said hi already.
Zeus.
So,
all I'm saying, she won't let me finish my question. That's all I'm saying.
I haven't said a word.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, well then here's the question. Why would he target those two particular legislators who are both Democratic legislators, correct?
There were 70 Democrats on that list. 70. 70. So he wasn't just going for those two. Tim Walz was on there. Ilhan Omar was on there. There's a bunch of Democrats, but they happen to be local.
So they just happen to be the two that he started with.
They live in Minnesota.
Okay.
DJ, why does this even matter at this point? You see him, he's evil, correct?
He is absolutely evil. There is no question.
And he's a Trump supporter. Can you honestly admit he's a Trump supporter as well?
No, I will not admit that he's a Trump supporter.
All right.
Because Devia comes up here and said that he was a registered Republican in 2022.
What if I played you what his roommate said?
I've seen what his roommate says. He looks like a real reliable source there, Zeus. You're putting all your money in that. Okay, that's cool.
Okay, let's move on to Kabir because we don't got all day to play with this delusional situation.
You're judging him based on how he looks. That's
When
really
you never even let me
Kabir.
finish my point. You never even let me finish my point.
Okay, could you hurry up and make it? Because
I'll be
none of us
glad
believe
to.
it. None of us believe you.
Okay. All right, coolly up. All right, man. Y'all be good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I wanted to address DJ really, but if he wants to go, that's fine.
DJ, he
just skedaddled. Not a worry. You know, I was just how you doing, Zeus and Daiva Talks and Thunderdome.
Hello.
Hi.
I was just watching. I'll tell you the lowdown what happened with me later, Zeus. But
Okay.
yeah, this pastor, I guess that's what we could call him because he called himself ministering the word, like you said, in the Congo.
Yeah.
His list compiled of other lawmakers in places like outside of Minnesota. We had Wisconsin,
Correct.
we had Illinois, we had Michigan, we had Nebraska, and we had Iowa. He was also going after AB clinics. This guy was definitely after people who were pro-choice. The people that he was going after were people of the Democratic Party. Are they held
Correct.
to beliefs? This is not someone. If a Democrat would not go after another Democrat like that. End of subject. Now he brought up Trump beliefs. Well, what are Trump's beliefs? I believe Trump's beliefs are lawlessness. Trump edges this stuff on and he gets his crowd stirred up with the rhetoric that he talks, and then this is what we have. Right? Now, the senator from Utah,
Mike Lee.
yes, Lee, he made a foul comment about the people who were schmurdered from this nut. See, when we demonize people and the Republican Party or MAGA, they're good at this. When you demonize people this bad, then you have others thinking that they're worth getting rid of. And then to deny facts. I wonder where these people are getting their facts from. Because I watched some of Fox News yesterday and they were reporting on the truth. So my question then is, do they watch it only when it's entertainment news, when it suits their needs? These people are dangerous and they're in denial and they are causing much harm. Thanks to them, we have Trump.
Bingo. There you go. No lies detected.
I just wish DJ was up here because I had a slew of questions to ask him today. I just want to know, where is the denial coming from? What is their thought process? Do these people really think, as you say, Zeus, do they connect the dots?
No, they don't.
You know, remember when you were little, you had a coloring book and you would trace around the object and then you would color in the shade. What are these people coloring outside the dots? I don't understand their thought process. And it just amazes me that even if you look at something logically and say, that makes sense, that doesn't make sense. But they just take something and they run with it. And that's what's dangerous.
Yep.
Denial is easier than ego. Like they cannot admit they're wrong. They cannot admit.
Exactly.
They
And
can't be
Snuggles
intellectually
gets up
honest.
here with his nonsense. I wouldn't even let Snuggles up again. I wouldn't even entertain Snuggles in my life. Because Snuggles, whether he knows it or not, and I hope you're still there, Snuggles.
He's listening.
Snuggles is dangerous. Snuggles is
Yes.
very dangerous. And yes, you can record it and you can put it on TikTok, Snuggles, because I don't care. You are a dangerous person because you also pass misinformation.
No lies detected. W. Kabira. He hears you. And God's judgment is seriously sitting on him. And it's real heavy. But you know what? We got work to do, all right? So, and we've reached that point in time where Big Zeus, ladies and gentlemen, has to get up out of here, all right? You two,
Hey, one more question, Zeus.
Yes.
How do you do it? How do you do it, Zeus? How
Do what?
you keep your cool, your calm, your collectiveness? I mean, how do you do it? Because I can't take it. I can't take these MAGA demons anymore.
Well, I'm actually very cold inside, very cold, and I want to see the suffering of MAGA, all right? And I'm very, very patient, Kabir, and I see it's happening because this time around, within the first 6 months of Trump's administration, he's done so much damage to them. When you agree, in the first 6 months, first 100 days, and they're running out of places to hide.
But they embrace
and I want
the
to see
suffering.
them. Oh,
they
but
embrace the suffering. This makes me more MAGA.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to take. And you know what I say? For the will to do like this, and then this little piece. You're going to see the will of MAGA snap, Kabira and Diava and all. We're going to see it, and it's going to be in front of all of us. And I recognize we got front row seats to this because we're actually actively out here pushing back against it. But I can't think of anything Donald Trump has promised his supporters that has completely backfired already, and we're only 6 months in. And the pressure and the walls are closing in. And we all know how cults end, right?
Not very good.
Kool-Aid.
W Zeus. And so we know how it's going. We know how it's going to end.
Zeus, the only thing difference.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. One more thing, and you can drop me. I don't mean to overtalk here. No new s'mores, right? Well, now what do we have in what's going on between Israel and Iran?
Yeah.
Right?
War.
Oh, he's the great what is it? He can solve any problem. I have the best brain. Now what do we have going on? But everyone was so afraid of Vice President Harris. No, they weren't afraid of Vice President Harris. They just rather have this lunatic who has no idea what he's doing. You know, he's wandering through the woods, and they're following this guy right off the cliff. And the sad part about it is they're taking us down with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you can drop me, Zeus. I vented. I will let you know. You and Takesha know what happened to me later in this stupid project. This project was about as chaotic. This past weekend, I went through more chaos with this project than we have been with Trump and his 6 months.
Wow.
So I'm ready to go shovel some sand somewhere. So
fair enough. Fair enough. All right. W Kabira, no lies detected. All right. Now, Diaba, you were saying something.
Yeah, I was just going to say the only difference between Jim Jones and Donald Trump is that Trump would charge him for the Kool-Aid.
Whatever they got left now, because I thought he took everything they had at this point, but it seems like he's able to squeeze more and more out of these people, and it's like, how's he able to do this? But we all know how the cults end, right?
Yeah, they don't ever end well. I mean, look at David Koresh in Waco, Texas. Look at all the cults.
Yeah,
end up kind of the same way.
Yeah.
But I've been saying though also because I go live every day and I'm not as patient as you. I crash out all the time, but I just can't handle the idiocy anymore and the
I get it. It's not for everybody.
And the pretzel twisting.
Yeah, I totally get it.
But I've been saying all along he's going to go too far, and he's gone too far with turning the military on the people. Sending troops into California. Like, he's doing too much and he's going to take it too far, which is why he's losing and oozing support. The only ones that are left are the real crazies, like the ones that are just dug in so deep. There's a lot of people that are waking up.
Yep.
And I've talked to several of them over the last couple of weeks that have finally said, I can't do this anymore. He's gone too far. And
Good.
I have to remember because I want to yell and scream and be like, we tried to tell you,
Yeah.
But Obama gave a speech at the Democracy Forum, and he said, and I have to remind myself this every day to keep from crashing out on him.
I agree.
we have to make room for the awakening.
Yeah.
We're never going to kumbaya with the MAGA chuds, like just the deep cult members. We're never ever
Correct.
going to kumbaya with them. But people are going to wake up as he does more and more heinous things and more things that are going to harm people. And when people when the people lose their health care, people can't afford to live. People are going to start waking up, and we have to make room for the people that are awakening because we need numbers on our side.
So true. So true. You're right. And I had that same, I didn't come to it the way Obama did, but that's where I'm at with it. And I saw it like recently, Ryan Garcia, you know who he is, right? You saw him, right? He came out of the fog. Oh, he's doing these ICE raids. I can't be silent anymore. And I wanted to really say something. I said, I'm going to hold it back.
But when they do come to my live and tell me that they're, oh no, I can't do this anymore. I tell them, I said, if you want us to trust you and you want us to believe you, you got to put action behind your words. Start calling your senator, start calling your reps, start calling your people in your state. Do something. Get out and protest. Make the phone calls. Send the emails. We need action behind those words before we're going to fully believe you.
Yeah, that's real spill. All right, W. Diaba, no lies detected. And basically, people say, well, do we trust MAGA? No, absolutely not. We're talking about folks who are coming out of the cult, all right, and need to be rescued. They can't be put in leadership roles. No. But you gotta take what you can get a little bit sometimes, and it's a dirty job, to be honest with you. But it's better they get out of the cult and go do more damage, all right. And so that's where we're at as a nation, to be honest with you.
Yep, I tell all your friends, because if they're MAGA, they got a ton of MAGA friends. So I said, start in your inner circle, even if you're the only one speaking up, even if they ostracize you, even if they're mad at you. Truth is truth, and if you really, really mean it, then you're going to have to do the work to prove to us who tried to warn you and you ignored. If you want us to kumbaya with you ever again,
she's on fire.
You gotta show me. Proof is in the pudding. Don't just say because it's now affecting you. Now you're suddenly out of the cult. Now you got to put in the work and prove that you're really out of the cult. And then maybe one day we'll be able to trust you. But for now, I'll take you at your word. But you got to show me some proof, and we gotta move forward. You got to vote. You got to vote Democrat all the way down the ticket in the midterms,
and then show us the ticket.
That's
show
right.
us the ticket too.
Even if you have to hold your nose and vote every single Democrat, you better do it.
Yeah. I want to see some real atonement. All right. Well, listen. Thank you so much, Diava. All right, ladies and gentlemen, W. Diava, you're welcome. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. All right, seriously.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
All right. Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, check this out. We performed this whole show with the restriction on the live. You all deserve a round of applause. I was going to restart early on, but I'm like, you know what? Once we get going, sometimes you just got to keep pushing it through. I want to give a special thank you to all of you in the audience who listen to the show. But DJ, what you did, you shouldn't run like that when the heat is on. You see me going on to these other platforms, DJ, all the time, and I take it like a champ. You couldn't take the heat. I'm a little sad by that, to be honest with you, but we'll talk about that in another show. I also want to give a special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists, because without you, this show would not be as entertaining, educational, and engaging as it is, all right? Seriously. But then you know what? I also got to do one last round of booze and shame, and you know exactly who this goes out to. And this goes out to all of the Zeus haters out there, the liars, the grifters, the ones who continue to misrepresent the facts despite the facts slapping them all in their face. Here, I'm the truth. They still continue to misrepresent it, all in favor of continuing to support the lies and the narrative that their dear leader instructs them to do. And DJ spoke a little bit about it. The Trump, what did he say? It was the Trump playbook or something. I don't know what it was. Do me a favor and go straight to hell. Can't make this stuff up.
Silence, you MAGA Daily.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. We're out of here. He crashed out and said, I gotta go.
Mr. Money Power,
all of you. I appreciate you. We're going to get it right, all right? But we just got to continue to endure. And you can do it a little bit easier when you got the truth on your side. And that's what we're doing. Yes, I appreciate you, seriously. And Eugene, you got to quit saying you're the most handsome, all right? And because it makes you sound like my good friend, my brother, Nutty Professor. All right, you can't do that. I see you, Q-Dog. I see you, all right? I see you, Val. Thank you all. I wish I could have more time so I could talk to everyone, but it's hard to do. You know how it is. Maribel, thank you. Someone wrote LDJ. Heaven, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. It's coming. I can show you the cover. Hold on. I can show you the cover. Hold on. You want to see the cover? I just got it in. Hold on. Where is it? Alrighty then. Oh my goodness. There it is. There it is right there. You see that? You see it? You like that, Heaven? Alright. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue coming, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. Because I told you all, they said that Big Zeus doesn't make music anymore. I make music. Yeah. It's going to be an amazing album. It's a concept, right? If you're not into politics, you'll be interested. And if you're already interested, you'll appreciate it. Because I'm going to be connecting dots like you've never seen it. All right. Let's get some drill, baby, drill, and then we are officially out of here. Because see, people think I don't do anything besides this, but you know, sometimes you got to show them.
Because you know she's gonna ban. You know she's gonna
busy man, yeah.
100%.
We stay in the studio, all right? Seriously,
She
little miss.
gets fractured against Orchestra, and all of a sudden about a year and a half ago, when she was getting killed in the polls. She said, "I like fracking very much. Like they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical left Marxist. She can't help it. But we're gonna end that, and we will frack. Frack, frack, and drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill. We're going to be drilling so deep. We're going to be, these guys, we're going to drill. We're going to take out so much money. We're going to pay down our debt. We're going to lower your taxes to insane asylums. PA. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack, frack.
Hey, shout out to Q-Dog. Shout out to Nutty Professor. Shay, Ed, Keisha, Kabira, you know what we do. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical. Let's go. We're gonna be drilling. Let's go. I'll lower your taxes. Hey. We're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes. Somebody got to do it. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter. What a show! We kept the door to the floor. Let's go. Here it goes.
Insane asylum.
Where they go crazy when I say, what do they do?
The late, great Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, they do?
They say, why would you mention Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, why would you do that?
We're going to lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums.
You know they go crazy when I say
the late, great Hannibal. Drill, drill,
Hannibal Lecter. Let's go. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy. Drill, drill. Hey, hello. Can you go? baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. We're gonna lower your taxes. Insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. How much do you owe in your house? Don't worry, we'll take good care of that. We're gonna pay off all your debt, and then guess what we're gonna do? Some of you Tiffany for the people. Then we're gonna lower those taxes, right? Because there's so much liquid gold. There's just so much liquid gold underneath our feet, right? You're a radical, and all we gotta do is drill, baby, drill to get to it. All right, and then you know there's some cracking after that, but you know we gotta keep it clean because you know. Hey, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Take care, stay safe out there in those TikTok streets.